quick live just because I have, free time for once. Feels good to be able to say that. Um, yeah, I don't know why things have just been like crazy the past week or so. Like just absolutely exhausted. No energy to get anything done. But I think that's gonna finally start to change. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to just having time to relax. Not really that I can relax. I have to like study for exams and stuff that are 100% my grade. But again, it's not really that bad. But yeah, wait for people to join. Hopefully, people ask for book suggestions because that's just fun to do. But if not, we could just talk randomly. That's probably what it's going to end up being anyway. But yeah. No one's in here yet, so it doesn't matter. What is due today? Damn. I have to do 4 of these videos. I have to do like interactive videos for one of my classes. All right. Hopefully this notification will go out soon. I can sign in my Discord. It's no fun being in here with nobody. I don't know, my views have been like weirdly non-existent. Um, can't tell you why. What's up, Pardeep? Hope I said that right. How's everything? All right, we got a few people in here. Yeah, feel free to ask for books. Give me like a topic that you're interested in, and I'll give you a book. I think that's the easiest way to do it. What's up, Ashley? How's everything? Everyone having a good day so far? Everything going well? Um, a book? Try anime? I don't know. I don't like the only anime I like is probably like Baki. That's the only one I've ever been able to watch. I don't know. That's just me though. Like it's like I don't know. It's just too involved for me. Like I like to not necessarily that I like to watch shows that I can kind of stop paying attention to, but like I feel like when I watch anime, I just get way too off the actual. Like I'm just not paying attention enough. I'm good. How are you, Don? Everything good with you? Yeah, I don't know. Like for whatever reason, I don't like. Oh, you talking about like manga? Okay. I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll try it out, but I don't know. Right now I'm like obsessed with philosophy, so when I get through that, then when I get through the entire genre of philosophy, maybe I'll give it a try. I'm slowly starting to get it. Please, Hindi language. I don't speak. I don't speak that. My bad. Unfortunately, I don't speak Hindi, so I don't know what to tell you. Get subtitles. I don't. Can you even get subtitles for this? I have no idea. Maybe that's gonna be a function that they add soon. I feel like that might be interesting if they could do like live subtitles, but I don't know if we could generate it that fast. Because I know AI can do subtitles within like processing of a video. No, no, you're good. You're good. I thought you were talking when you say anime. I thought you were talking about like watching it. And I guess you're reading, right? Because you're reading the subtitles if you're watching anime. But I don't know, like the sub is just too hard for me to pay attention to. I just like, cause I zone out, so like I need to be able to like hear it, cause then I can like retain it better. Whereas like if I'm watching something subbed, it's almost like a chore to like pay attention. You know what I mean? Like it's just personally I don't like it. Yeah, my bad, Don. I'm sorry. I don't speak any other languages, unfortunately. I've gotten by pretty far on English, so you know, might change things, right? My lips are like so chapped. I gotta get. That is way too much oil. I don't know about you guys, but the weather changed for me like this week, and it's like it was like literally 70 degrees like a week ago, and now it's literally like 10, 20 degrees. I actually made this account on accident. I'm not allowed to have one. What does that mean? Why aren't you allowed to have a YouTube account? I feel like YouTube's pretty like regulated. Like they don't really let a lot of crazy stuff happen. I'm not allowed because I'm on my phone 24. Okay, that's fair. I mean, that's not a good thing then. But yeah. The thing is, like, I don't know. I think screen time is like kind of unavoidable. So it's just like doing it for productive things. Like, it's really hard to do, but it's like if you clean up your feed and at least you're learning things versus just mindless content. I think that's a better way to approach things. Like my Instagram, it's literally all just animal videos now, and it used to be just the stupid. Like, I can't even begin to explain how stupid my Instagram feed would be because it would just be like people that are like clearly deserve to be in a padded cell, and I would just send it to my friends and be like, "Oh, this reminds me of you," and like it just had such detrimental impact on my brain because it was just like I'm watching like some of the most insane people in the world all day long, and it's just like now it's just animal videos. So, um, yeah, I really just cut down the influence from other people. You ate pancakes for dinner. Would you go to IHOP or something? I don't know. I don't really like pancakes. It's like doesn't fill me at all. What's up, USA Attic? Is that like you like the USA or you're an addict from the USA? What's the meaning behind that name? Hopefully, it's the first one. You made it at home. Oh, okay. I mean, that's a little worse because I can see like if you go to a diner and you order pancakes, that's not as bad. But like, are you the type of person that eats like ice cream for breakfast for fun? Oh, But yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Does anyone want any book suggestions? I don't think this one got to the right people. Sometimes it's like full of like people asking about certain things, but sometimes it's not. How's your voice so manly? Um, just is. I feel like your voice is just natural. It's not like something you can like. You can lower it if you like consciously do it, but that's just how my voice sounds. I don't know. I feel like it also depends on my energy level as well. Like it's probably higher pitched when I'm more energetic, but right now I'm just tired. So I think a lot of it too, don't give away my secret, is I talk slow. If you talk faster, it's gonna be obviously a higher pitch, but if you talk slower, it's gonna just have that appearance of depth. No, I'm not dancing now. Is that what you want me to do? I didn't know that was like like I thought that was literally just like an edit that someone did to seals. I didn't know that was like a trend. Cause like my feeds are not like everyone else's. My feeds are just animal videos, and then like I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that kind of stuff. I don't know the different. What's a sig? I don't know what that is. Pepsi or Coke? I don't drink soda. You found what? I don't know what a sig is. SIG. I don't know what that is. I mean, I probably if you explain it better, I probably will know, but I don't know. I know what a Glock is. I don't know what a sig is. Sing? No, I'm not singing. You guys don't deserve my singing. No, it's more just that I'm like, I only sing in the shower. So if I stream, actually, I can't even say that. Um, maybe someday. Maybe someday. I was about to say something, but I was gonna sound like terrible. I like sometimes I like forget that I don't think before I speak, and it makes these like very risky. Cause like if you knew me in person, you'd know that like I'm not serious, but it's that might be lost in translation. I could always just say I'm a character though, that this isn't real. That's always gonna be my defense. I'm a comedian, guys. Don't take me serious, even though I'm not funny. But the truth is, most comedians aren't funny, so it's fine. I can get away with like I'm funnier than Bert Kreischer ever has been. Like that's not saying anything. I think anybody that can speak coherent English is funnier than him. But yeah. Um, trying to think. You're from. What does that mean? You're asking where I'm from, or are you just saying that? I'm confused. Which country? The U.S. You can't tell from my not accent. I feel like you should be able to tell that I'm from the U.S. I feel like that's a pretty obvious thing. Like just the way I carry myself, I feel like it's pretty obvious. Hi from Ukraine. Oh, how's it going? Pretty good. Can't complain. Everything good with you? What can you recommend to me about history of the U.S.? I mean, there's a lot of cool things about the U.S. history. I'll give you some of my favorite historical figures from the U.S. Teddy Roosevelt. You know, read about him. He's very interesting. There's a billion not autobiographies. There's a billion biographies about him. One of the things I'm going to read very soon is the Federalist Papers, and that explains exactly like the foundations of the Constitution, the foundations of the Declaration of Independence. I think that's really interesting to learn about. Um, Something that I learned recently that I didn't really get was that I read Cicero. I read his selected works, and then you find out that Cicero was really the inspiration for the American Revolution, for the French Revolution, and you can see a lot of his ideals bleed through into the formation of the country. So I think that's pretty cool stuff. I'm not like, I mean, like obviously I know U.S. history, but like I'm not like a history buff. Like the details aren't interesting to me. Like more so the story, more so that. Like I don't care about the exact amount of people that fought during the Civil War. That's not something that's super cool to me. How's it going, Amira? Do you read something about analytical thinking? What do you mean analytical thinking? How to learn manipulative skills? Um, oil. I was not expecting that. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I can't complain. You're not. If you have to learn manipulative skills from a book, you're not gonna be able to do them. That's really the thing about it. Like you can read the 48 Laws of Power, but you're not gonna be able to really um, use them because manipulation is just like an inherent trait. You can't really become a manipulative person. Like not only do you have to use these tricks, you have to be able to change your inflection, you have to be able to lie, you have to be able to tell truth when necessary, you have to, you know, be able to not come off as a used car salesman. There's so much more that goes into manipulation, and it's just like saying, "Can I read a book and do it?" That's just not gonna happen. You're making me what? What? What am I doing? I'm sitting here talking. I mean, thinking in a logical way. Uh, I'm I'm trying to think of a book. I think that's not really something that you can like. I can't really point you to a set book, but it's just something you're gonna learn over time. I think if you read like more popular books that are out today, like books that have been released in the past 10 years, that's a lot of their focus. So like anything by Jocko is gonna teach you more just pure logic, pure reason. Even meditations to a certain degree is going to teach you to remove your emotions from things. I think that's maybe a good start. I don't necessarily know because it's not really something that you can pick up in a book. It's kind of something you just have to practice. You have to like remove yourself from the situation and think about it as an outsider. Like The reason why your friends feel confident giving you relationship advice, even if they haven't been in a relationship, is because they're an outsider and they don't have emotions invested. When you don't have emotions invested, you can always make the best rational decision. So just pull yourself out of the scenario and think from that. That's really the only thing I can tell you. But like, I don't know a book that's going to teach you that. I think that's kind of just something you gotta learn for yourself. Preparing for law, you don't. Law is not about manipulation. It's not suits. Law is about who you know, and basically making the best case, throwing into question the other person's evidence. It's really about making deals. It's not about manipulation. Like it, it sucks to find out, but the legal profession is really just like who you know. It's not really anything else could because like think about it, like if you're a scummy lawyer, like if you're Better Call Saul, no one's gonna want to work with you. No one's gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Like you're gonna be constantly at war, and like it's going to be very difficult to work for any sort of law firm because they don't want to sacrifice their connections. They don't want to sacrifice these things. Like, unless you're doing a sole legal practice and you're okay with being the bad guy, you're not going to be able to be Better Call Saul. That's the thing people don't understand. Like, what you see on the TV show, it might work in individual cases, but in the long run, it's going to sacrifice your relationship with the judge. It's going to sacrifice your standing with the bar. It's gonna bring a lot of issues that you probably don't want. Thanks anyway. I think the advice I gave was better than whatever you learned in a book. Bro, what are you talking about? Your grand learned the secret of life. I'm confused. What are you talking about? What about the book? I was like, once I saw Braden, I was like, all right, I'll accept this joke. Um, nothing's crazy interesting right now. Um, just doing a stream, but yeah, I gotta like, um, I have like 10 books I want to read right now, and like I have like 20, 30 pages left in this book. When I finish it, there's gonna be a big decision that comes up. So I think that's really the only thing on my plate right now. But aside from that, just been chilling. How you been lately, Braden? Everything good? Trying to think. Um, what was I gonna say? My brain's all over the place today. Yeah, I'll show the books that I'm gonna read soon. What are they? The Book of Love by Peter Gabriel. Never read it. I was gonna read this next, I think, just because it's so short. What is it? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think that should be a fun read. I think it's only like 80 pages, so I can get through it tonight. Um, Something I haven't finished that like it's just been sitting on my desk. Like I made it most of the way through it. This book, the Edinburgh and Dorr Lectures on Mental Science. I'm excited to finish that finally. Um, I got 2 books by Rumi. Rumi is a Sufi mystic. Um, I don't know if you've read The Alchemist, you'll understand. Like, if you do any research on it, you'll understand that the author Paulo Coelho, I think that's how you say it. He was inspired by Rumi, so I got 2 books on that. Hopefully that's interesting. That's like more poetry though, so it's gonna be the first book on poetry I read, and I think that's a good place to start with Rumi. I don't know. I've read poetry before, and it's just like it's just so depressing. Whereas Rumi's about like love and how it ties into everything, how it's the essence of the world, and I think that's an interesting concept. And I mean, it's probably gonna be very uplifting, so I'm excited to start reading that. I'm reading 2 books. One's mainly discipline and one's financial. Dude, I cannot read finance books. They're just so boring. Like finance books are good, like if you don't understand finance at all, but I mean really the only thing you need to learn in finance is that like you have to invest for the long term and start planning now so that when you actually have the funds, you know what to do with it. I got a couple books I need to start reading. Dude, I have like 50 books I need to start reading. What books you have that you're gonna start reading soon? Nothing Rhymes by Gilbert Sullivan. Never heard of that. Is that a good book? Tell me what these books are about, and then maybe I'll be interested in them. Like give like a synopsis. Because I'm always looking for more books. So just if it's something I'm interested, I'll write it down. I haven't looked at them yet, but I can check. Okay. Yeah, just let me know. You're just if there's anything interesting, anything you want to share with me, just DM me on Discord, or just put it in the Discord. I think it's always like I think it's always interesting to just at least like tell people book names because even if you don't pick it up now, you might go to a bookstore, you might see it on Amazon, you might see it somewhere, and you might be like, hey, why don't I read this book? Like, there's been so many times where people have told me to read books and I don't acknowledge it. Like, I don't go out and pick it up right away, but like if I see it and I flip through it and it looks interesting, I might pick it up. So, like, I just like to put the titles out there because at the very least, it's gonna impress the subconscious and you might pick it up later. I've been trying to focus on my mentality mainly right now. What do you mean mentality? Like there's so many aspects to that. And I think to say mentality is to not, encompass it fully. Like I think there's different aspects of mindset. I think there's a lot of different ways you can interpret that. Like when people talk about mindset, when people talk about discipline, like that's where it stops usually. But I think there's so much more than just that. I think there's like obviously like if you become a disciplined person, it's gonna help a lot, but it's not gonna cure everything. It's not going to get to some root issues that you've never figured out. Like, I mean, I'm not really disciplined anymore, but I used to be the most disciplined person that I knew, and that didn't make me happy. That doesn't make you content. That doesn't make you fulfilled. Like there's still things that are going unresolved, and it's only through introspection that you can start to find these things. So like I think it's like a period of ebb and flow. Like right now, I wouldn't say I'm lazy, but I'm more lax on myself. I'm cutting myself more slack. I'm learning how to take a step back and reset and reevaluate things, and then slowly over time I'll get back into the, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But like I'm learning that the more I relax on myself, the more I give myself low stress, the better I can perform. Like right now, 30 minutes of work for me is equivalent to like 4 hours of work for me like a year ago. And it's just like, would I rather force myself to do things or would I rather just relax and do them? I just need to take things in more positively and have a better perspective on things. I think the easiest way to do this is basically just try to rationalize everything and find the good in everything. Like everything bad has good in it. Everything that we experience can be taken in a bad and good way. Like say you get your dream job. Well, maybe there was a job that was slightly better, that it had, better better benefits, that was closer, that was less strict, that was less stressful. Like maybe that job was open too, and because you took this first one, you can't get that one. And it's like even when you win the lottery, there's issues because now your annoying family members are going to beg you for money. Now they're going to hold it over your head how they helped. You know what I mean? It's like there's good and bad. There's stresses with everything and there's drawbacks to everything. So like just being able to flip the script on the negative things in our life and find the opportunity, find the strength, find the ability to, just enjoy whatever's happening to you. Say like, I'm gonna come back better. This is gonna inspire me to be this much better. Like now I know another way not to succeed because I've failed so many times. Like taking the inspirational aspect of everything and then moving forward is always the best way to do it. The library was a go-to place when I was young. That's where I learned. Dude, okay. I this might be like an issue, like a personal issue with me, but like I just like having the books. I like to be able to like see them. I like to be able to like flip through them and go back through them. Um, I don't know. I'm almost like a hoarder when it comes to books. Like it's just something that I enjoy having the physical copy of. Like I know a lot of people like Kindles. I know a lot of people like audiobooks, but for whatever reason, like I just like having the physical copies. It's just that much better for me. Like I know you can get basically, I shouldn't say this, but like you can get every single book basically on PDF, and you like you might not necessarily have to pay for it. Like a lot of the books I read are out of public domain, or they're in public domain, so I don't have to pay for them. But I'd rather have the physical copy than reading it on my phone, reading it on my laptop. You know what I mean? That may just be a personal thing though. I know a lot of people that they can't read a physical copy, but they can read on their phone just because that's what they've done most of their lives. I don't know though, like the light bothers me too much. It's just too difficult for me to read. I mean, it's like the same thing as like typing versus writing. Like when you type a list, it's less meaningful, but when you write down the things you have to get done during the day, there's just like that added element of seriousness to it. Like it was just a little bit more difficult. It was a little bit harder. It made you think a little bit more. So for some reason that makes it more significant for you. Maybe it's that. I don't know. I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could just be like an overall preference. Who knows? I feel like I'm getting into the weeds of things right now. The library was the only access to get info. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without Google. Because, like, my mind is, like, always questioning things. So it's always nice to be able to, like, get confirmation in 5 seconds. Like, if I can't figure out something right away, like, then it eats away at me. I can't imagine, like, having to search through things, through a library. And it's also, like, I don't know if this is the case, but like I feel like there's probably controls on what could and couldn't be in a library. Like I feel like they would, in some way, regulate it, in some way, keep certain ideas out, and it's really a shame. Because now it's like if you wanna read about any subject, there's a book about it on Amazon. Like Amazon will list any book as long as it sells, basically. And it's like that is such a cool thing. Like, I mean, say what you want about the rest of the companies say what you want about the working conditions, but like there's so much great information that you can buy in books on Amazon. That's the one thing I really love. Like I've talked to certain people and they've been like, how do you know this stuff? This stuff seems like illegal to know. Like, where do you find this? This is like I'm talking about like ancient wisdom, ancient philosophies and stuff like this. Like, how do you learn this? And I'm like, dude, these books are just on Amazon. Like, these books are readily available, but just most people aren't willing to pay whatever $5, $10 to pick it up. So like, it just doesn't get spread. And the information that they have is the information that's like keeping them down. It's very weird to me. But it's so funny how people are like, oh, the information, you're old school. Info these days lacks substance and understanding. Yeah, it's really frustrating to like having read so many books. When I try to read like news sources, I'm like, where's the rest of the information? Like this doesn't say anything. Like even studies, I question studies because it's just like, how is the study done? It doesn't explain the possible faults in the study. It just, takes a set of data and then adds its worldview to it, adds its perspective to it. Whereas it could be taken in a completely different way. It could, I mean, correlation doesn't equal causation. There could be other factors at hand. Like I mean, it's just overall there's like a just not understanding of these. Give us a shocking ancient wisdom. There's like so much. I mean, like give me a topic. Give me a book recommendation. Like when you say give me an like my brain just doesn't function, doesn't process. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. Like um, let me think of an example. Do you use sunscreen when you go outside? No, I do not. It's winter here. That's why I'm so pale. Sorry. No, I don't use sunscreen though, because I'm like if I were to use sunscreen, I'd have to get like a natural sunscreen. I don't want to put like chemicals in my body. Like if you can't read the label, I'm not gonna put it in my body. That's my belief. But to say one book you recommend, The Book of Mere Dad is my favorite book ever. That's like that's truly I think the best book ever written. You read it. Um, you read the Screw Tape Letters. It's pretty good. I'm reading that right now. I have like 30 pages left. I liked it. Or a book that I'm gonna read really soon is Emerson's Essays. From when I read about Emerson, he's awesome. Man and His Symbols, very very good book. That's the easiest book of Young to read. What about a suntan? Dude, there's no sun where I am right now. I can't. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just pale. I'm sorry. I have like Polish ancestry. It's not gonna. I'm never gonna be like super tan. So they're just my genetics. You love Polish people? Thank you, I guess. It's like way back. It's not like I have any ties to it. I don't like know any Polish. The best fellows I ever met were Polish. Dude, they're like funny. Like Polish people are just hilarious. How much of a book do you truly retain after a month? Probably just the key points. Certain books last longer in my brain. Certain ideas last longer. But yeah, there's books that I go back to, and some of them I never go back to. What's the Sun Tenement Scotland? um, but yeah, it really depends. I would say there's a lot of books that have a huge impact on me. Like any book I've read by Jung is something I'll remember forever. Like a few key ideas, but you're right. Like eventually the ideas fade, but like what we retain is what's important. Like if you can take away two, three things from every book, I think you're off to a really, really good start. I think like if you just consistently say like after you finish a book, okay, what did I learn from this? What was important? What are ideas I found interesting? What is something I want to apply to my life? Again, you don't even really have to like make huge changes, but just recognize these things and recognize how these things might be useful in a scenario in the future. I think that's a really good way to approach these things. What's the book that you read at the right time, if you know what I mean? Ooh, oh, that's such a good question. Um, damn. See, like I could say a bunch of books, but I want to find the perfect answer to that. Um, hold on, let me look at my books I have right here. Uh, damn, it's like I'm so impressed by that question I can't answer. Where is it? I want to say Neville Goddard. I want to say Power of Awareness probably. Um, like I've studied law of attraction. I've studied law of assumption as well. I've studied like the power of ideas, the power of thought for years, and like I feel like the culmination of all my studies came when I understood this, when I started reading this, because it really started to make sense. And I don't know what it is about Neville Goddard that he puts things so perfectly. He puts things so simply that like you can't help but apply them. You can't help but like start seeing the changes in your life. But like truly reading Neville Goddard has been the biggest inspiration for me. Neville Goddard is The Power of Awareness is by. But I mean I also have his collected works. Where's that? Like honestly, anything you read by Neville Goddard is going to be one of the greatest things you ever read. His collected works as well. Um, but those books are so good. I think I found those books at like the absolute perfect time. Although I love the ideas and philosophy in general, the books are so boring, hard to get through. Neville Goddard, you talking about? Neville Goddard's not hard to get through. I think it's pretty interesting because he packs so much information into small chunks. Like, I mean, this book's 100 pages, and like there's like 26 chapters in it, so it's like each chapter is kind of a new approach. I don't know if that's who you're talking about though. I think so. Listen to it right now. Yeah. So there's also lectures of him on YouTube. They're pretty interesting as well. So like if you want more bite-sized information, there's also that option because his voice is pretty cool as well. He has like a good speaking voice. I don't know who that is. I'm not even gonna say in case it's someone bad. In case it's someone that I wouldn't support. Was he supposed to respond to you? Honestly, I'm. Whenever someone tells me to say something, I just know not to say it. Like it's not that like I feel like that's a pretty obvious thing. Like when you're on the internet and somebody tells you to say something, don't say it. Like I think that's a pretty fair statement. Yeah. Have you read there's a few really interesting books by Jung. If you've read like the more like granular stuff like Psychology and Alchemy, the psychology of the unconscious, like if you read what is it? Man and His Symbols, that's much more interesting. It's not as like scientific-y, it's like way more just straightforward. Nietzsche is so boring. I haven't read any Freud yet. I understand like Freud's basic ideas, but like it's just like he just seems boring. Like I know his theories, and I'm like I don't want to read hundreds of pages about this. That's the thing. I have the Interpretations of Dreams and Introduction to Psychoanalysis, and I just haven't opened a single page of them. But I feel like I'm gonna take something away from it. I just don't know what yet. But the next one of the next books I want to read is Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I've not read nearly enough Nietzsche for how much I talk about him. I feel like I understand his ideas very well, but I feel like I've mischaracterized some of his beliefs in certain ways. But then again, Nietzsche is just like his own person. Like it's he's like I feel like nobody really understands the man because he didn't really understand himself. Like he seems to me like he never really figured things out. If you look into his actual personal life, like he's just kind of one of those people that like criticized everyone else and never really found happiness. And it's like it's kind of sad because like a great mind like that shouldn't not find the guidance that he was looking for. Whereas Young kind of seemed to like live a happy life, which is really reassuring because it's like if someone that smart can be happy, like it's really cool. Because I think a lot of like there's a lot of studies out there that say like smart people aren't happy, that like for whatever reason they can't find fulfillment. But it's like maybe that's true. But if Carl Jung can find fulfillment, like I'm pretty sure everyone else can because that dude is one of the smartest people I've ever studied. Damn, this video is so long. Right now it says there's no one in here. Let me check. But I'll end it in a second, probably. There's some stuff I want to get done. Unless there's still people here. I have no idea. Oh no, it says there's people in here. Do you guys want to talk about anything else? I got some stuff I want to do, but I'll stay on a little longer if you guys want to talk about anything else. I think this might be a good place to end it. I don't know. I feel like for the next few weeks it might be difficult for me to like do super long streams, but I can definitely do stuff like this a lot more. Like 45 minutes, hour maybe. I think I can find time for that. I'll definitely find time to read. I'll definitely find time to make videos, but it's just the doing things for long periods at a time might be difficult because I have like 3 finals I have to study for. None of them are hard. None of them are like super difficult, but it's gonna be like a challenge getting myself to actually study. I saw a kite runner the other day. What's it about? It like stuck out to me for whatever reason. I was walking by because I go to Barnes and Nobles a lot. It's such a bad problem. What's it about? I've been reading Kafka recently, and Kafka is just so depressing. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I love him. So I know exactly what you mean. I just read The Trial. I just read The Metamorphosis. Yeah, they do hit. They do hit. Um, my favorite genre to read is more. How do I put this? Like more esoteric stuff. Like I really love Manly P. Hall. I love Jung because Jung is like scientific but also mystical. Like anyone that talks about inexplicable parts of humanity, like the ideas of faith. Like I love Osho. Osho's awesome. Neville Goddard. Like stuff that is, I guess it would be called like pseudoscience, like pseudo religious, pseudo philosophy, like kind of stuff like that. Like that's really the stuff I like to learn because I mean let's face it, we've been taught like most of the ideas of like Western morality. I've been well educated in history, well educated in science, but it's like I don't know anything about philosophy. I don't know anything about thinking for myself, and anything that opens me up to a new perspective, anything that explains things that I always knew were present but I couldn't really put my finger on. Like one of the coolest things that you'll learn through reading Jung is that your dreams are basically a sign of what you should do, a sign of maybe the future, maybe something that you need to start integrating, maybe something that you deep down are ashamed of. Like your dreams are an indication of where your life should be headed and what you need to do, and we just have to listen to it and we can reflect that into our world. And like that's one of the coolest things. And it's just like I like learning stuff like that. So like I don't know. I'll probably never pick up history books. I'll probably never pick up like I don't plan on reading 50 Shades of Grey or books like that. Like the books I want to read are just things that make me think new ideas, things that explore concepts that I'm not familiar with. Um, and I would say my favorite genre right now is philosophy. Just because I like learning philosophy, but it might go back to religion. Like I don't know if you've seen my bookshelf, but a lot of these books are just esoteric. Um, what's up, Venom? But yeah, let me know what Kite Runner's about because I saw it the other day. I might be interested in it. I'm slowly trying to, or not that I'm trying to. I guess I am. I'm slowly getting more and more into fiction, and it's starting to become interesting to me again. I used to love fiction, but I kind of fell out of love with it because I thought I read Osho. Yeah, I've read like probably 10, 15 Osho books. I really like Osho's ideas. I think it's a good tie between like the old ideas of the East and explaining it to a Western mind. Um, it's just really cool, and I like how he criticizes and agrees with Nietzsche and Jung and Freud, and I mean it's just a really interesting perspective, and it's one that is based in religion, whereas most of the things that I've learned have been based in the view of science, based in the view that we can describe everything, that we can quantify everything, that if we do enough studies, if we observe things long enough, we can in some way explain the fundamental workings of these things. But I mean, it's just, I think that's just like the wrong way to approach it. And I think Osho really explained to me the reason why so many people are unhappy, the reason why so many people are discontent, and it has to do with ambition, it has to do with ego, it has to do with the self, and it really helped me understand what Jung was talking about when he talks about the unconscious, when he talks about the shadow, when he talks about these concepts. You interested in astronomy? What kind of astronomy? I like astrology, but I don't like why planets go around the sun. That's boring. Like I like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't find him super inspiring. I mean, he's obviously a smart guy, but I just think like he's very biased in his opinions, and I think that like that's a dude that believes in science as his religion. It's about a kid's tribulations in war-torn Afghanistan when he moves to the States. Truly sad book. All right, I might have to read that then. The most beautiful book I ever read was the Book of Mirdad. You should pick that one up if you haven't already, I'll pull it out real quick. The book, not the Book of Your Dad. This is literally my favorite book I've ever read. This is a book I actually found through Osho. Tyson isn't my type either. Yeah, I just like, I mean, obviously people like that are necessary because like you need both sides of the coin. You need both arguments, but I just think he's too much into his own ideology without understanding the plights of the other people, without understanding their worldview. And I think that's not a way to go through life. Like, if you're gonna disagree with someone, at the very least, respect their perspective, respect the way they approach things, respect the way that they carry themselves. Like, I think if we can take that approach to life, I think we can get over a lot of the issues that are going on today. But the problem is that's not happening. And that's the exact reason why we're in the scenarios that we're in. It's the exact reason why there's so much discontent, so much unhappiness, because we disagree with people and then we hate them for that. Like, you're supposed to disagree with people. If you agreed with everybody, we would literally be living in 1984. There'd be no difference in opinions and everyone would be forced to do the exact same thing, and there would be no joy, there'd be no beauty. Like, I don't think people understand that our differences is what makes the world go round, and the more we start to shame these differences is the more we start to become more homogenous, the more we start to all sound and act alike. Like, the reason why movies are so bad today is because people are so afraid to upset each other. Like, the reason why movies fucking suck is because nobody's willing to take a risk. They watch a fucking Christopher Nolan movie, they're so boring. It's just action. There's no plot, there's no story, there's nothing controversial, there's nothing that could possibly get him in trouble. Whereas you watch The Joker, and that's one of the most insane characters you've ever seen depicted, and that's why the movie's so good. Like, it's very weird to me that we don't understand this fundamental part of humanity, and fundamental differences in our opinions. And differences are good. The reason why there's a strong argument for diversity is because diversity of ideas is what breeds better ideas. And now we get it all mixed up with diversity of appearance is a good thing, but it's like, diversity is only good if people are bringing new ideas, new perspectives, new ways to do things and combining them to make better. And that's the idea that we should be pushing forward, not just, oh, everyone looks differently, that means that we're doing something good. No, that's not a good thing. Like bringing new ideas, I'm all for that. I'm not for the other nonsense. Like, doing something just because it makes you outwardly facing, oh, I'm a respectful person, I'm this, I'm that. Like, it's just, I don't know. I see through the facade, and I see through all this nonsense. It frustrates me, but again, I think these are deeper conversations that most people aren't willing to start having. But it's nice to know that we can have these discussions here, that we can have a civil debate, and agree to disagree. That's the best part of this platform. Definitely add that to the list. Yeah, no, that's something that you'll read and you'll be like, how is this written by a human being? It doesn't read like anything that a human could write. If you've read The Prophet, Khalil Gibran was like best friends with Nicole Naime, the author of the Book of Your Dad. So you'll see a lot of their influences bleed into each other. It is really similar to that, and it's really similar to almost like The Alchemist, that kind of style. But yeah, I love those kinds of books, like the pseudo religious, the pseudo work of like when something reads like it's a work of the Bible, but it's their own interpretation. I like stuff like that, but only if it's done well, not if it's just like some nonsense. But again, it's really hard to do stuff like that good. What do you do for a living? I am in law school right now, so I don't do anything for a living. But yeah, I'm excited just to have more time to read, just to have more time to kind of relax and like I don't have any classes for the next, I guess the next 5 weeks, but it's gonna be really cool to just sit down and um, learn about the law. Like I don't like I'm in law school, but I can't stand going to classes. I love learning about law. I love reading law textbooks. I love reading about. I mean, I guess it's rights depending on if it's related to, um, constitutional stuff, but like more so reading about like how the process works, how the system's set up, like the cracks in the foundation, the possible concerns with certain issues. But I don't like sitting in a classroom learning what to think. I totally agree. I'm starting to understand that dumb, strong convictions shouldn't piss me off. People live in their own bubble. Older, yeah. Most people never get wiser. That's the sad thing, though. I think the other thing we need to understand is that your perspective is well thought out. My perspective is also well thought out. Like how we view the world, you would also view the same. You would also view it the same if you were in my shoes. If you experienced everything I experienced, and the more we can understand that, the more we can exercise this perspective, the more we can kind of just not get so upset with people when they believe something that is reprehensible to us. You know what I mean? I think that's another key thing that people can't do. People can't take themselves outside of themselves. And because they can't do that, they'll never be able to agree. They'll never be able to give ground. They'll never be able to see like maybe I don't agree with this person, but I believe they're justified in believing this. What book should I read? Fantasy or superhero? I don't know. I don't read books like that. I mean, fantasy. I mean, you can't really go wrong with The Lord of the Rings. That's a good one. The Hobbit. The Hobbit's a pretty good book. I mean, if you haven't read the classics, read the classics. I think they're classics for a reason, and they have a lot of good themes, a lot of good lessons. Like that. That's always a good way to go. I don't really necessarily read fiction, but um, something I really like is The Alchemist. Another book I really like is where is it? I literally just read it. Fantasy. I'm trying to think. I don't read fantasy. I'm sorry. Just read The Hobbit. This is a good book. Yeah, yeah. My bad. I don't like. There's certain topics I'm just not. I don't know that many books in. But yeah. I think if you haven't read The Hobbit, that's a great place. I think everyone that's read that book has loved it. It's a great story. It's timeless. It'll never. That book will never go out of print because it's a great book. Um, it's not a superhero book, but this is also a good one. The Count of Monte Cristo. This is a very good book. Very good story. There's a very good romance in it. It's like the classic hero's journey trope. He has everything taken away, and he has to go back and fight for his honor and this and that. Beautiful lady. I don't know where you see the lady, but okay. Yeah, like I would never read the Harry Potter books, but the movies are good. But I think like reading The Hobbits, like it's not it's a 200-page book, 300-page book, maybe I can't remember, but it's a great story. You know what I mean? Like reading stuff like that, I would say read, but I'm slowly starting to see more and more the value in fiction, the value in creativity. But yeah, I agree. Like I'm never gonna tell anyone to read 50 Shades of Grey, Harry Potter, like more of the popular like romance based books. Like I don't see a lot of value in that, but like I mean the classics are classics for a reason. Like even The Great Gatsby, it kind of gives an insight on the 1920s of American history. I think it might be a good book simply for that perspective. You are very beautiful. Thank you, I guess. Yeah, it's weird to me how there's like a, it's almost like a cult around the Harry Potter books. Like I didn't know this existed until a few years ago, but like there are some crazy ass Harry Potter fans. Like almost to Taylor Swift level of fans. Like those kind of fans exist for Harry Potter. And it's like so insane to be like, I mean, they're probably good books, but like I've never been so devoted to something that's not real. You know what I mean? Like it's it's so weird to me how people like get like full on tattoos of Harry Potter. It's like, bro, it's like a children's story. It's not that deep. My brother is reading Harry Potter. He's not that big of a fan. I'm sure I'm sure they're really good books. I'm sure they're really good stories. It's just I can't see myself like it's weird to me how there's like full grown adults that will spend thousands of dollars to go to a Taylor Swift concert. Like that makes no sense to me. Like people will put themselves in debt to go see someone, and it's like people will also do that for a Harry Potter book. Like people will get tattoos, people will put it on their car, put it on their laptop. Like it's just weird to me. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to like something, it's another to make it your personality. And I don't get like not being an individual enough to have your own personality. Yeah, I like superhero stuff, but I'm never gonna get like a Batman cape to wear to bed. I don't get like the rave behind it. Like I mean they're like entertaining movies, but like I'm not gonna rewatch them. Like I've never rewatched a Marvel movie I've seen, but like if I want to take my girlfriend to a movie, like it I mean not now, the Marvel movies are so bad, but like I get what you mean. Like I don't get the obsession. I also don't get the obsession behind Spider-Man. Like I mean Spider-Man to me, like it seems like the people who like Spider-Man are like the dudes that have a crush on a girl that doesn't know that he exists, and she like starts dating someone else, and then the guy's just like coming up with these scenarios in his head, and he's like, I can treat her so much better if only she gave me a chance. Like that's the kind of guy I feel like that likes Spider-Man. I don't know. It's like, is that fair to say? I don't know. At least from my interpretation, maybe I'm wrong. Like he's got cool super villains, cool superpowers, but like I don't know, it just comes off as like a weird dude to me. Maybe it's just the way he's been portrayed. But I feel like I also overanalyze everything, so that's also just me taking the fun out of it. Probably not fair. Okay, I'm okay. I don't know. I'm always like I'm a Batman guy. Like Batman is the coolest superhero. I think. Like he's like the perfect amount of like edginess without like going overboard. Whereas like Spider Man just like, oh yeah, I'm like a nice guy. Like I don't like people that are nice for the sake of being nice. So maybe that's just my personal worldview bleeding into my choice in superheroes. Like, do you know the people that are like nice because they're too afraid to have a backbone? Like, I hate those kind of people. Like, if you're gonna be nice because you actually like people, not because you're just afraid of being disliked. Like, I find it that the people that are the most outwardly nice people are usually the most, you know, passive aggressive, are usually the most inwardly selfish, usually the most inwardly despicable people. That could also just be a cope by me. Not everyone, not everyone. I make sweeping generalizations, I feel like, and people don't understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I have nothing against Tom Holland. It's just like I'm not inspired when I see him doing something heroic. Like it's just like meh. It's like a travesty what they've done to superheroes though. Like I mean, we live in such like a perilous time. Like you could easily create allegories. You could easily create stories that are capturing some of the like insecurity, some of the fear of today, and come up with a inspiring and hopeful message. But the creators in Hollywood just aren't smart enough to write a good character, smart enough to write something that is possibly going to be controversial, that is possibly going to scare 10% of people that the rest of the people are going to enjoy. Oh, what's up, Ashley? I didn't even know you left. Damn. I've been waiting for you. I was waiting for you to. They're not even making money anymore, though. That's the thing. Like, dude, how do you have an IP as big as Batman or Superman or Spider Man? Like, you have to understand, there's like 70 years of those comics, and they can't just rewrite those comics. Like, if you, I'm gonna show how much of a nerd I am right now. If you have you guys heard of the Flash, like the movie that they just released, the Flashpoint? That comes from one of the best selling comics of all time, and the story is so good. But they somehow were like, no, we're not gonna use the story that was in the comics. We're not gonna just redo it scene for scene. We're not gonna fire one of the most insane people in Hollywood in Ezra Miller. Like we're gonna keep this idiot on as Flash, even though he doesn't look like the Flash, even though he can't run. Like if you see the videos of him running, like it's not believable. And it's like they spent $400 million on that movie, and they could have just adapted scene for scene a comic, spent way less money, and just made billions of dollars. It's so stupid. My friend was coming over. I can't. You should have told your friend to just wait. She should have told her I'm. I can't believe you would be so disrespectful to me. Damn, your friend's so inconsiderate, ruining my stream. My lips are literally so chapped right now. You're better than my friend, though. I'll tell her that you said that. She's not gonna like that. She's in the chat right now, and she just saw that you said that. She's crying right now. How could you do that? I'll tell her it's too late. What's up, Stray Kids fan? That's an interesting name. I hope that name's not like literal. I hope it's like something I don't know about. Yeah, Ashley, it's way too late. She already knows. She's already just like sobbing in the shower because you said that. Damn, I meant to only stream for like 30 minutes. We're at 75. I guess we're just gonna keep going. I'm not even like tired. Going to bed, bye. Dude, it's like 3 o'clock here. It's like, what are you, like 90 years old where like 4 p.m. is your bedtime? Yeah, do you guys want to talk about anything else? If not, I'll just end this. All right, I'll stream at some point later. Um, okay, I just have to go to the bathroom. That's why I'm ending it. But yeah, talk to you guys later. Thanks for everyone that joined. Thanks for anyone that's still here. Thanks for anyone that hung